In plenty of our previous videos, you'd have seen us test, compare and review many different robotic lawnmowers that are on the market, and today we have got one of the latest and greatest that is now available. So we thought we would check it out against others that are already available on the market.
Now the main one we'll be looking at today is the new LUBA2, but we are going to compare it against 5 other brands on the market. So we got a Stihl, we got a Stiga, we got a Husqvarna, we got a Kress
and a Segway. We are not strangers to the robotic mower world, because in a previous life we were robotic lawnmower dealers, and we were probably dealers for 10 years. So I'd like to think we've got a bit of a bearing on what we're talking about. So I think without further ado, let's see what's going on.
Tested by Machinery Nation.
So just over 12 months ago, I was offered a brand new robotic lawnmower that was being released in the market, and it was called LUBA by Motion. Now, if you watched that video, you'd have known I'd named that mower Lucy. Look everybody, it's Lucy, and she's doing a cracking job. Absolutely amazing. I'm super impressed. And I compared it against Larry, which was a Husqvarna 4-wheel drive. This is Larry, everybody, which is Husqvarna's 4-wheel drive option that is on the market. Now, LUBA have released a brand new mower this year, and it's their 2nd generation.
Large or uneven lawns don't stand a chance. LUBA2 AWD is an autonomous wire-free lawnmower built to tackle rugged terrain with stunning aesthetic results.
Is now called LUBA2, and they have sent us this mower. So we thought, well, we've already done one video on it. This one has got some fantastic updates, so we thought we would compare it against what else is on the market.
And this video as well, we thought we've got to make it interesting for our viewers, and we've got to be able to put it up against other brands that are very similar in characteristics and features of the LUBA. So the range of mowers we've actually got today all mow up to around 3,000 meters squared.
Which is what the LUBA is set to.
Yeah, so that is the benchmark for the competitors that we're going to show you today.
Although we've only physically got the LUBA today, all the others are the stats and information that the manufacturers have provided.
So I think we ought to get it out of the box, get it assembled,
and find a suitable garden to put it into. This looks like something from ET.
Yeah.
Suppose that's your reference station, I'm presuming. That's your new camera. Tic-tacs.
Yep. Here is the base station. Ooh. That is nice, isn't it?
Wait until you see the front wheels, mate.
Oh!
It's enough to get you lubed up, isn't it?
Isn't that a thing of beauty, eh? It's going to be odd seeing that working, isn't it?
It is.
So what can I say about the new features on the LUBA2? Well, as you can see, there are a few noticeable differences from the outside. Namely, the new version now has an AI camera built in with 3D vision. They're calling this the triple reductant obstacle avoidance system. Now that's a bit of a mouthful, but in short, this incorporates an ultrasonic radar, a camera and a physical bumper. It is now equipped with Omni wheels, which allows the LUBA to effortlessly turn without causing the damage to the grass, while also giving exceptional climbing ability. There is also a shed load of other features that have been added to the app, but you'll have to keep watching to find out more about that.
We needed to find a suitable garden to be able to install LUBA2. Now we've got a big area here with trees and obstacles, canopies. It's even got a large pond down the bottom. Now the problem is there's no power to this area. So luckily with LUBA2 you can make channels so it can travel from one area to another. So we can make it travel through this driveway, up across this lawn, and then we can plug her in up against the garage at the top. So that is LUBA2 all assembled and ready to go, and I think we can both agree that LUBA was extremely well packaged and everything is really well laid out in the box, and the instructions are very, very clear. So the one thing I think we should point out straight away is that LUBA is a self-install machine to be installed by the
end user.
Yeah,
so you can order it online, have it turn up in your box, and you can put it in the garden for yourself.
So with talking about install, I think we should probably install the LUBA.
See how easy it is to do ourselves.
Yeah, and follow the instructions and go from there.
Installation is straightforward on the LUBA2, and it is quoted from out of the box to map in your garden area. The setup of the hardware will take as little as 18 minutes. Firstly, you will need to find a suitable open and flat area for the base station to be fixed, and the RTK reference station should be in an open area to receive satellite signals. As you can see, you get everything in the box to get you going, and we have fixed the reference station into the ground with the pole provided. If you wanted to attach this to the roof or side of a house, then you can purchase the optional fixing kit. Next, connect up all of your waterproof leads and make sure you get a solid light on the antenna. If you don't, you may want to reconsider its location by moving it into a more open location. Dock the LUBA2 into the base station so it can start charging prior to mapping the lawn area. Then the next part is the fun bit. You get to drive the machine around the boundary just like an RC car, all from the app and your joystick controls. This will mark out the outside of your working area. Once you get back to where you started, you can save this and add on any additional areas. If you have a complex lawn, you will want to set up no-go zones. You may have drop-offs, borders or a pond. Simply follow the steps on the screen and set these up like you would the outside boundary. Set up the multi-zone management or additional areas and select the driving path the machine takes to get back to Area 1 and the base station. Check all your settings, choose your timings, heights and patterns, and there you go, you're ready to mow.
It is now time to let Lucy 2, aka LUBA2, loose and get her to start mowing. The total area we have programmed her to complete is just over 3,000 square metres, covering over 2 areas. She travels across a driveway automatically to get to the other one. In the app you can program the different heights of cut from 70mm down to 25mm, and this can even be automatically adjusted over different lawn areas so that you can get the exact finish you require. Now, although this large lawn area is undulating, it is certainly not steep. Well, the good news is that the LUBA2 is all-wheel drive and can handle slopes up to 38 degrees, and with its new front wheel design, it can turn without even leaving a mark. LUBA2 comes in 4 different models, starting from 1,000 square metres right up to a massive 10,000 square metres. Yes, that's nearly 2.5 acres of grass from just one mower. Now this is a feature we'd love to try, but unfortunately this is not our lawn, and that is that LUBA2 can print letters, shapes and even logos into a lawn pattern. Just imagine this working on lawns of your business premises and having your logo written into the grass. Perhaps you can let us know in the comments below what you would print on your lawn and why. So now that LUBA2 is fully installed into the garden, I think it's time we checked out the specs of all the different mowers together.
So let's go through the specs of this machine and compare it against the rest on the market and see where it sits with the competition.
In the lineup we have 4 machines that run on the RTK system. These are completely boundaryless and run off of satellite navigation. With increase in technology, this has been made possible and leads to self-installation for the end user and also quick and easy garden boundary maintenance. It also means you don't need to worry about potential breaks in boundary cables. So let's look at the machines which run on RTK. We have the LUBA2, Segway Navimo H3000E, Kress KR173E and Stiga Expert A3000. With the Stihl IMO Evo, Husqvarna Automower 435X all-wheel drive, which are all on wired systems.
Moving on, probably the biggest question asked will be the price. How much will this machine cost and what do I get for my money? Well, from the list of products we have chosen, you will be pleased to hear that the LUBA is the second most reasonably priced machine, only pipped by the Segway Navimo H3000 by £150. But it is worth noting that the Segway Navimo is only 2-wheel drive, so the LUBA has a great advantage over its rivals. The only other 4-wheel drive option to compare to the LUBA, against price-wise, is the Husqvarna 435X all-wheel drive, which is nearly double the cost at £4,999.
As we mentioned, we chose all the machines to compare the LUBA against because of their working area capabilities. They are all rated for around 3,000 metres square. But with that, how many separate areas can they mow? Most of the models can cope with multi-zone management, but we could only find one other machine that actually advertises how many. This is the Stiga A3000 Expert with 10, which is far less than that of the LUBA2 all-wheel drive 3000, which can manage 20.
Both the Stihl IMO and Stiga Expert A3000 can mow as little as 20mm. The LUBA2 only comes in slightly higher at 25mm. From our experience with robot mowers, 25mm is certainly low enough. As the cutting widths are that much smaller than a generic ride-on mower, you will get a far better cut. You will find the mower contours with the ground to give a superb finish. If you're looking for a slightly higher grass height, then the LUBA2 does have the greatest height of cut range from 20 to 70mm.
Moving on to slope capabilities, hands down the LUBA2 beats everything we have put it up against today. This machine can mow banks and sloped areas up to 80%, yes that's 38 degrees, with most of the other models only coping with 40 to 50%.
Now, as most of these models run on boundaryless technology, what happens when the signal may drop out or you want reassurance that the machine will keep on running? Well, the LUBA2 has a 3D vision camera supplied as standard, which is an upgrade from the original LUBA model. This allows the machine to provide precise navigation and continuous operation under varying environmental conditions. This is a huge leap in technology. Where others will fail, the LUBA will carry on its day-to-day tasks. The Segway Navimo also has a very similar feature in its arsenal with their design, the vision fence. Shall we say, both machines have intelligent brains, and the software built in to run these systems is on another level.
And onto the cutting systems, and the LUBA2 has the widest cut in the lineup. It boasts a 400mm twin cut blade system. This gives up to 66% higher efficiency than the competition on the market. It does, however, mean that the LUBA2 is the heaviest in the group, at 17.65 kilograms, with the lightest being the Stiga A3000, weighing in at only 11.9.
Moving on to warranty. Now there is a mixture of levels of cover across the range we have shown you today. The best warranties coming from Stihl and Stiga with 5 years, with the rest varying from 2 to 3 years. The LUBA sitting in with a 2-year warranty.
The best news about LUBA2 is they now have a UK distributor, and a good one at that. Mower Magic have the experience and knowledge required to look after the products and their customer base nationwide, from their purpose-built showroom and workshops in Lincolnshire, as well as a national dealer network. So as you can see, the LUBA2 spec sits this new model high up the list against everything else we have shown you today. For the money, features and specifications, it certainly is a machine to consider.
Okay, I think that... Right, okay.
So there we are, Josh. We have a beautifully cut lawn.
Yes, we do, James.
And it has done a cracking job, hasn't it?
It has done a fantastic job.
The stripes, the undulations, the almost golf course feel.
Yeah. I think we just need some big chess pieces now so we can actually play a game of chess.
Yes, because as you can probably see from the overlay, we have programmed it to cut crisscross, or like a chessboard as they call it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we could do some chess pieces now to play chess. Do you know how to play chess?
No.
No.
All I know is you move the pawn first.
Yeah, but you've always liked a bit of the bishop, haven't you? No?
Better than being knighted.
Well, this is it. Moving on from, obviously I reviewed the LUBA1, or just the LUBA, the original one. The two main points that are revolutionary are, one, the front wheels. The original LUBA, the wheels would drag round, hence why they've put these little wheels on so that it'll go sideways. Love that. And also the vision camera. Mm-hmm. The camera so that it can go up to a tree and go around it, or anything that's in the garden. It cannot hit it. It's impossible. We've tried loads of different obstacles and we cannot get it to fault. And you can adjust those settings within the app so that it can touch if you want it, so it can go right up close to something, or you can get it so it doesn't touch anything at all.
And I think that is the other thing to press on, is that app. The app, I mean, you don't need a degree to work it because it's pretty simplistic, but there's so many functions and features and patterns and designs and times and blah, 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 blah. You can get lost in it, can't you?
Now, if this was my lawn, we would print the Machinery Nation logo in the lawn, because with that machine, you can print logos in lawns. Now, we've got to try that somewhere.
We have.
But unfortunately, this
probably
isn't
in
my
someone's
garden.
lawn that we don't like.
It could be.
Just
It could be.
blasphemy across the lawn.
Just leave Josh. Just written Josh. Just write Josh on the lawn.
Josh was here.
Josh was here. But no, thoroughly impressed with the LUBA. The build quality again is brilliant, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's a heavy machine. Mm-hmm. It is a heavy machine, but then because of the heavy machine, you're getting these lovely stripes. So it's leaving a nice finish, and because you can drive it everywhere manually, even once it's programmed to move it from place to place. So like for where it is here now, we just drove it manually to there. We didn't need to pick it up, so I don't think the weight's an issue.
And I was going to say as well, following on from your first video done, which was over 12 months ago now.
Yeah.
We fielded a hell of a lot of calls about the LUBA product.
We did.
And at that point, obviously they didn't have a distributor in the UK.
No.
And it's that sort of grey area. Do you invest into something that you don't quite know, are you going to be able to get spare parts or backup and it's going to arrive in the box? But now they've got a distributor in the UK, and I think that is why that is going to be on the market, and that is going to be a real contender now against the rest of them we've actually looked at.
It really is. And when we spoke to customers previously last year, people were like, oh, you know, who's going to look after the product? Well, there wasn't anyone, was there? So, but now, as Josh says, there is a distributor in the UK. Now, we put the links in the description below to find out all the information you need to find out, whether it's about the product or whether it's about the distributor. It's all in the description below. So your biggest question, are there any negatives?
Well, I've got one, and that is read the instructions before you try to install it into your garden. We didn't do that. We just thought we installed so many different robotic mowers into people's gardens that we knew what we were going to do. So we're going to chuck it out of the box, put the base station in, make sure it's got good signal, and way to go. But weren't we wrong, eh?
In hindsight, we should have just read the instruction, because once we read them, it was fine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything went very, very, very smoothly. Yeah.
What about you? Have you got a
Well, I
negative?
suppose it's not really negative, but we do need to reprogram this lawn, because along an edge over there is a little bit of a drop down to the driveway. Now, I programmed it to go as close to the edge as possible, because at the end of the day, you want to minimise your strimming or extra work you need to do. And every so often, it will just fall off that edge. Now, we need to reprogram this whole area. How long did that take? What, 10 minutes? So it doesn't take very long. And that's the beauty of the RTK system and the way this is all set up, is that you can just redo the area. It's not like there's a boundary wire around the outside. No. You've got to rip up and move physically. It's a
virtual boundary.
Virtual boundary, yeah. So you can just virtually move it. Well, I suppose, Josh, we better go and reprogram it, hadn't we?
Better way.
So I put it into manual mode and we're off. Right, let's go and reprogram.
So there you go, guys. We're Machinery Nation. We bring you product videos every week all about tools and machinery. If you like the video, please subscribe, ding that notification bell, and we'll see you very shortly.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.